Okay. Hari Om and Namaste. I welcome you today to an episode of Know Your Dharma program with your host Kishore Trivedi. This podcast is conducted with the blessings of the Hindu Society of North Carolina and Bharat TV. Today we have one of my grandsons, Ishaan, as a guest conversing with me about some basics of Hindu Dharma. But let us first start with a prayer to Bhagavan Shri Ganesh.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. O Bhagavan Sri Ganesha, of large body, curved trunk, with the brilliance of 10 million suns, may please make all my undertakings free of obstacles, always.
Hari Om Ishaan, please introduce yourself to our audience first.
Hari Om, my name is Ishaan and I am a rising 10th grader at Berkeley High School in California. Nana, you started the dialogue with the beautiful greeting, Namaste. Can you please explain the meaning of this greeting?
Indeed. Namaste is a Sanskrit compound word that is used as a greeting. The two words in the compound are Namaha and Te. When joined together, become Namaste. In Sanskrit, it is called Sandhi. Its literal meaning is, I salute or bow down or greet you. But our scriptures tell us that there is divinity in both the individuals greeting each other. Hence, a deeper meaning of Namaste will be that divinity within me salutes or greets the divinity within you.
Nana, your personal favorite greeting is Hari Om. Can you explain its meaning?
Wonderful. Ishaan, our scriptures tell us that divinity is not just confined to you and I, but the divine pervades all sentient beings and even insentient things. That is, all this all around you is nothing but divine. This immanence, I-M-M-A-N-N-E-N-C, of the divine is indicated by the word Hari in the Hari Om. This is because Hari is another name of Bhagavan Vishnu, and the very definition of word Vishnu is Vyapnoti Charachar Atmakam Jagat iti Vishnu, which means that which pervades everything in this universe, whether sentient or insentient. Thus, in our religion, spiritual growth equates to enlarging your circle of oneness, and spiritual perfection would lead to a state where you see nothing but God everywhere, in everyone and everything. And in fact, very first line of the first mantra of one of the key Upanishads called Ishupanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, defines this all-pervading divine as Ish or Ishwar. Ishavasya.
Ishavasimidam sarvam yatakinchagatyam dagat tyena tatyena punjita magrida kasyas vidyanam.
So all this, whatsoever moves in this universe, whether sentient or in Sanskrit Chetan, including those that move not, which means insentient or jad, is all enveloped or pervaded by the Supreme, which in this case is called Ish or Ishwar. The same idea is expressed in many verses of Bhagavad Gita and all the other scriptures. So Hari says that God is immanent, God is everywhere. The second word in the greeting we are discussing is Om. Om indicates Brahman, the transcendental reality. Brahman was there before the universe was born. Brahman is here in the universe, and Brahman will be there when the universe dissolves or ceases to exist. Sometimes Brahman is referred to as Parabrahma or simply Brahma. It is interesting to note that Brahman is in the neuter gender. It doesn't make sense to talk about male or female at that level. And it is also why all prayers start with Om, because Om indicates Brahman. And Om is also a mantra for chanting or for meditation. Thus, Hari Om says that God is immanent, all-pervading, omnipresent, and transcendent, beyond senses, beyond mind, and beyond intellect. In fact, these two notions of God can be said to be the summum bonum or the real essence of Hinduism, and everything else that is written about Hinduism is merely commentary. Once I asked Swami Viditatmananji, who is current head of Arshvedya Peetham, and he told me that Brahman and Ishwar are two sides of the same coin. Brahman, the transcendent notion of Ishwar, or God, and Ishwar, the immanent notion of God, are two sides of the same coin.
But Nana, you described the notion of God in this way. Well, when we go to any temple, we see many different murtis. Can you please explain this topic?
Indeed. Many people label Hinduism as polytheistic, that is, having many gods. But as I just mentioned, the fundamental position of Hinduism is that God is both immanent and transcendent. If we take the former notion of God is immanent, then Hinduism can be considered pantheism. But when we add transcendent notion of divinity, then this becomes pantheism. So one can say that it is difficult to pigeonhole Hinduism into one of these neat categories. But if you must, there is a relatively new category I recently learned about, known as pluriform monotheism, which is defined as one God worshipped through many different forms. So Swami Dayanand Saraswati of Arshvedya Peetham says that it is not a question of one God or many gods. As per our scriptures, there is only God, in the sense that everything else does not have any independent existence except God. Much like, as an example, gold ornaments may have different names, forms, sizes, shapes, but in reality, they are all nothing but gold. Similarly, everything in the universe is nothing but God. But now, very few people can worship this all-pervading reality called Ishwar, and even fewer people are capable of meditating on the formless, transcendental reality called Brahman. We need forms to worship, adore, meditate upon in our attempt to reach the formless. That is why we have forms, and many forms are provided so that each one of us can choose the form that is most suitable for our attitude, our aptitude, and so on. These different forms are not different gods, but represent different aspects of the same attributeless, formless Brahman. Let me give you an example. I am perceived differently by different people, although I am the same being. When I go to the office, I'm a professor, PhD advisor, mentor, etc. While I come home, I am a husband, father, brother, grandfather, etc. When I go to the temple, I may be a spiritual advisor or one of the attendees. The same being seen differently in different roles. Similarly, these different murtis in the mandir or temple are not different gods, but different ways of visualizing the formless infinite. I can easily corroborate these facts by quoting many verses from the scripture, so I'm not just making it up.
Thanks for answering my basic questions, Nana.
Ishaan, thank you very much for your questions. And now let us conclude with a prayer.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhabad Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May all be happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious. May no one suffer. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Notice, Ishaan, that the word sarve in this particular mantra simply says all. There is no conditioning on it. It is not talking about only Hindus or Indians or anything like that. All beings, not just all human beings, all beings. So it's a very, very broad view of the world. And then when you say and a prayer, it's always 3 times you say peace, 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 shanti, shanti, shanti. Some other day we will talk about why 3 times. It's a very interesting topic in itself. So today we conclude here. Hari Om and Namaste.